talking about art. Oh,
The best wine in all of Enderal. Come, give it a try.
In the wind, can you see the light as it shines through the trees?
But that's how it is. Life is what you make of it.
Isn't easy.
Some people just don't know their place in the world.
yes. What are you doing here? Walk blessed.
And with all the things you hear from the wilderness, I'm starting to get worried.
Well,
I understand your turmoil, Madame. But still, right now, the Order cannot.
Waste a keeper to search for a pathless heretic? That's it, isn't it?
This is not what I said.
But what you thought. You know what? You should be ashamed, all of you. When I was young, being a keeper meant something. But I suppose those times are over.
Anything else I can help you with, Madame?
Huh? What is it? Oh, whether there's something troubling me? Let me think. Yes. For example, that the Holy Order, since that Aranthiel is holding the reins again, cares more about digging up Pyrean ruins than taking care of the people of this country. Ugh. Forgive me. I shouldn't have said that. It's just... never mind. Is there something you need? I need to get back to the shop. Huh? No. I appreciate your offer, but it would be too dangerous. This would have been a mission for a keeper, but they are too busy polishing their armors. Oh my. Well, fine. Who am I to reject a helping hand? I am missing someone, and I'm not speaking figuratively. My son, my only son. It's complicated. Have you ever heard of the Brotherhood of Kor? I see, then you haven't been in this city for long. The Brotherhood of Kor were pathless ones, heretics as the Order would call them. They demented the divinity of the Lightborn and instead prayed to some barbaric deity called Kor. Initially, they were ridiculed, but thanks to their leader and his talent to poison lost souls with his ideology, more and more Ark people, especially Sublimes, converted to his cult. And, well, among them was also my son, Ruckus. Oh, I don't know where I failed as a mother, I really don't. 4 times a week I took him to the chapel to pray when he was a boy, and I always kept him away from dangerous influences. Girls, boys, you know what I mean. But apparently that wasn't enough. He was one of the first to convert and take those ridiculous vows, even though he wasn't even 20 winters old back then. I suppose there's only so much you can do as a parent. A vow of silence, and please do not ask me what for. It has something to do with the followers of Kor believing language somehow poisons the mind. Some pathless rubbish. Yes, because the Order, Arthas be praised, banished them from the city. The Kor didn't bother too much, but apparently one of their seers has had some kind of vision only shortly before that happened. She saw an island in the Red Sea near Duneville. So, this is where they went. They built a small settlement there about 5 winters ago, and Rukas went with them. No, nothing. But even so, I wanted to know he was all right, so I paid a myriad warden to, once each moon, fly over the island to see if everything is in order, so to speak. And, well, this is essentially what's troubling me. For 3 weeks, the island has been deserted. No sign of life anywhere. Thank you. That means a lot to me. If you could find Rukas, I would be happy to reward your efforts. You see, I just want to know if he's all right. Pathlessness aside, he is still my son. Anyway, best you talk to the myriad warden in the South Quarter. He can take you somewhere close to the island. I will be in my shop.
Potion to cure red madness. Wouldn't that be something? getting rats again. Lovely.
Yes?
Yes? What are you doing here?
Yes? Oh well.
That's just how it is.
I really need a new herbal essence for my hair. So much to do, so little time.
Greetings! I don't need to tell you about that mad magister, do I? The whole city talks about nothing else. And honestly, if even a keeper of the Holy Order can fall victim to this red madness, or whatever they call it now, then Malphus have mercy on us.
Just where did I put it?
Hello.
Some shifts never end.
Yes?
Madame?
Come on, just a little to the left and... Ugh! Blasted blazes! You are really, really starting to annoy me, you know that? Oh, now look at that. A visitor. Great. Just great. What do you want? Are you here because of the placard? What? By the 7? No! Don't take it personal, but you really don't look as if you know much about Starling craft. What I am looking for is an adventurer. Someone willing to take over a very important task for Horst and me. Yes, Horst. And no, he is not my imaginary friend, but this gorgeous example of Enderalian metallurgy and Starling ingeniousness right beside me. My personal centurion, and soon my new body. Yes, steel instead of flesh, energy instead of blood. Away with this useless shell and its pathetic fugacity. In Horst's body, I will live on forever. Ah, you wouldn't understand this even if you'd been my apprentice for 15 years. If it helps you, just imagine that I transfer my consciousness, my soul, into Horst's body. And by doing this, I become him. Apotheosis, that's what the scholars from Kyra call it. Man's ascent to something higher. A deity, you could say. The only logical response to current events, by the way. Ah, red madness, death of the Lightborn. You don't need to be one of those keepers to see something is happening in this world. It's going south, and other than the Holy Order and his new Nehramese magically gifted pals I am no friend of, trying to pray away such threats. We need to change humanity. The apotheosis, the overcoming of our fleshly nature, is the first step. Unfortunately, I seem to be the only one who sees it that way. But hey, that's their choice. Oh, with this and that, errands, tasks your rough hands are better suited for than mine. But first, we need to find my assistant, Pathira. She's gone missing. Well, I suppose she took a flying unicorn to old Aranath. I don't know, sod it, else I wouldn't ask you for your help, would I? For his completion, Horst is asking something important. Some kind of steering unit, you might call it. Pathira and I have done research and found out that Dalmarak and his cohorts in Thalgard worked on a machine there that might employ a similar mechanism. Even though I had strongly spoken out in favor of an armed escort to send with her, Pathira had insisted on going alone. And surprise, I haven't heard from her since. Something that makes it the ideal place to go if you're suicidal and you're looking for a quick way out. You're an outlander, aren't you? How can I explain that without going beyond the scope? Dalmarak. Does the name ring a bell? He was an arcanist who lived about 2,000 years ago. Back then, the Order planned to build a second great city here in Enderal, situated in a region we now call Golden Forest. But as it turned out, the place was everything but a good choice for a settlement. No crops would grow there, and the water made the settlers sick. So 3 years after the founding of the first settlement, Malif, the Order forced the settlers to abandon the mission and return to Ark. But as things are with vain personalities, Dalmeric, who had been in charge of the mission, didn't like that idea at all. Malif had been his dream, and so he wanted to hold on to it no matter what the price. One of his ways to do so was a device he called the Sun Wheel, an old Pyrean construction which was meant to make the barren lands fertile again. You can figure out the rest. One night there was a bright flash of light, and since then Thalgard has been contaminated. Apart from a few animals and the Sunborn, savages whose brains have been rotted by the green fog there, it's deserted. In the first few centuries to follow, the fog spread as far as Golden Forest, but by now it's receded from there. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But as I said, she insisted. You know, she's of the lone wolfish type, if you get what I mean. Here, this is the place where Pathira said she would set up her camp. From here, she planned to go explore the nearby ruins. And please don't die, else I have no idea how to get horsed up and running.
Some people just don't know their place in the world.
Oh well.
What?
Yes? News. Where have you been these past moons? The whole city's talking about nothing else but the Mad Magister. 30 dead novices. Oh, boy. How could something like this happen within the Order?
Walk blessed. Hey, wait a minute, you... Never mind. Oh, you're an Outlander, aren't you? From Kira. Your skin, it looks, different. I mean no offense, really. I'm just, well, curious. Narum, you say? Huh. But still, your mother must have told you a lot about her homeland, didn't she? Is it true that a child on Kira has at least 5 fathers and 4 mothers? An old sailor told me that once. You live in those, communes, not in regular families, right? Oh, yes, of course. There are mage circles, the universities. The sailor told me that too. You know, once this chaos in the world is over, I want to go travel myself. Who knows? Maybe a captain will hire me as a deckhand. Anyway, thanks for your time. Walk blessed.
Oh well.
Oh, you're an Outlander, aren't you? From Kira. Of course not, my Dane. Forgive me, I didn't mean to offend you. Oh, you're an Outlander, aren't you? From Kira. Your skin, it looks, different.
Walk blessed.
May his light guide you.
Midnight's whole world. Between cobblestone.
Malphus blessings, madame. Are you looking for something to read? You name it, I got it. By the, put that away! Are you mad? Don't go around showing these to people like a bloody bouquet. Well, apart from the fact that the pathless murderer wrote them, they're forbidden. I once had an idiot of an assistant who had the marvelous idea of buying these on the black market and selling them to intellectuals. Probably thought it'd impress me. Would have gotten us both into the Undercity if I hadn't noticed it before the Order did. Well, they haven't always been. You know the story behind them, don't you? At first, the Order reprinted them, thinking it would be a wonderful scare story to keep people on the righteous path. However, that didn't work out as they thought it would. People were fascinated by the story rather than appalled by it, and some even started imitating his crimes. You know, killing criminals for justice. Some bards even wrote songs about the Butcher of Ark, path-abiding on the surface, but full of morbid fascination underneath. After some years, yes, it was Truchessa Nataro del Verum, actually, who issued the decree. Nowadays, owning these books is forbidden and punished by a significant prison sentence, and the Order tries to burn every single issue they get their hands on. Well, if they had, you wouldn't be holding one, my friend, would you? Blazes, did you listen to a word I said? You're not getting any here if that's what you're asking. Look for them if your life depends on it, but leave me and the other path-abiding merchants out of it. Ah, and you might be careful parading around with these for another reason as well. The Order isn't the only one looking for them. Just some moons ago, the 2 guards protecting the original scripture were murdered and the book taken. Yes, the one the Butcher of Ark wrote himself. I assume the thieves were hoping it contained the forbidden passage about Jael Tannerson's initiation ritual, but as far as I know, not even the original has it. Well, long story short, you're treading on dangerous ground here. If it's a story you want, I recommend you get yourself something else to read. Malphus blessings, madame. Are you looking for something to read? Malphus blessings, madame. Are you looking for something to read? Malphus blessings, madame. Are you looking for something to read?
dark as the sun. Light.
So many strange faces. Well, isn't it nice?
1,000 raindrops, red and small.
Walk blessed.
From the velvet sky they fall.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Oh, that should be it.
Oh my, now who is this? To see you here fills me with bliss. 'Cause I can tell just from your eyes you search for magical disguise. Well, you can buy such from the stash of Emberlord and Fireflash. I've seen this face, so yes, hooray! What can I do for you today? Oh, this one is curious. I'm sad to have to tell you this. Even though I'm not furious, my secrets stay in the abyss. Oh, blazes. You're right. I didn't see that question coming, that's all. But how goes the saying, practice makes perfect? Next time I'll be prepared. Ah, the business didn't go well in the past moons, that's all. Hardly any travelers or outlanders anymore. And the arcanists of the Order prefer to get their supplies elsewhere since Grand Master Arenthiel has returned. Well, since I have a son to feed, I had to think of something. That tip with the rhyming came from my brother-in-law, Doral. He's with the sickle and came back from a journey to Calais just recently. He said that he visited a lecture from a Chilean merchant there. And he said that in order to be successful nowadays, one needs a, unique selling proposition. Yes, that's how he called it. Something to distinguish him or herself from the competition. Correct. I know I'm not the best poet, but I'm sure you'll remember bartering at Emberlord and Fireflash better than with that goat-faced vagabond woman Stonehand down at the market. My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
An obulus, my dame, please. The Lord will redeem you for your kindness.
What? So many strange faces. Well, isn't it nice?
Oh, yes. Sensual and sweet as sin, their bodies touch my tender skin. Mmm! Oh, yummy!
Madame?
Tastes like cherries. Lo, how their bosoms make me languish. Oh well, oh, its hearts in anguish. Whoa! Whoa! Away! Away! Away you go! They purse their lips, so dark and red. Such scheming play, such vexing hex. Brute lust! With strongest will, my soul so small.
Do you know the aged man of whom no one knows from whence he came? His house lies on the edge, but
wow, that's nice armor you're wearing there. One day, I'm gonna be an adventurer and explore the entire world.
That's how it is. Life is what you make of it.
Hello.
yes?
Well, maybe I do. But why don't you ask one of your 1,000 husbands, Coal Woman? I have nothing to say to you. Now, shove off. Of course. Especially to people of your kind. Now, excuse me. I have to go.
Now look at that. A new face. How can Gabor serve you today? A Purian dagger, mayhaps? No? How about an ancient claymore for the steps of Eraziel? Wait. Say that again. Oh, by the name of the sun! You're Neremaze, aren't you? And even better, you're from Ostian. Oh, by the now deceased seven gods. What brings you here? To Enderal, I mean. Indeed, I am. And before you ask, I fled, just as you probably did. Even though the artist inside of me loves the chaos, the family man doesn't. At least not enough that he would risk the life of his family. And well, now here I am. By the face of time, what a dull place this is. The people here, this endless rambling about the path and Malthus. I would have never thought the Order could actually succeed in keeping the truth about the Lightborn's death from the people so long. But in a place like this, that problem pretty much solves itself, it seems. The people here are so obstinate. I was surprised to find out they do not still pray to a Satyron. Oh yes, that I am. Painter of the black powder, the fiery moments, one could say. In Nerem I could make a living from that. But in this country, my art is not exactly acknowledged. Oh, my fair lady, if I were to tell you this, what reason would you have for my services? Secret of the trade. Certainly. Just take your time. Take care. Fair lady. fair lady. The forbidden book? Don't hold it against me, but I'd rather keep quiet about that. Maybe ask that librarian, Marius. He always struck me as the free-spoken type. Safe travels.
Hmm? Is it important?
What?
Walk blessed.
My dad.
An obulus, my dame, please. The Lord will redeem you for your kindness.
Controversial recruit? So, how are you?
Fine, I guess. Why are you asking?
Oh, just because.
Ah, I see.
Then see you around, pal. And let old Earthhammer take a look at your armor. It looks like it could use it.
Yes, of course. Walk blessed.
Never walk back on the road from the aged man's abode.
Walk blessed. I'm sure I have just what you need. May his light guide you. May his light guide you. Yes. Yes.
That should be it.
Waka waka!
Yes?
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed? About Myrids. What is there to tell? They're beautiful animals, majestic and wild, and dangerous if you're unlucky enough to run into an untamed one. In the time before the Blood Moon Revolt, a long time ago, tame Myrids like this one here was a really rare sight. Nowadays, though, they're pretty common, at least here at Enderal. Pity, somehow. I guess that sounds stupid, but I sometimes long for the times my grandfather lived in. Being a Myrid warden was far more prestigious back then, and even fared with Sublime or Keepers. Nowadays, well, you can guess. Riding a Myrid has become as ordinary as riding a mule. But, who am I to complain? Oh, well, that's hard to explain. They communicate by clicking sounds. I, as a warden, have been trained to hear them, but you probably can't. And through those clicking sounds, I also tell them where you want to go before you mount them. Obviously, that only works for routes that the Myrid already knows by heart.
Yes?
Yes?
Walk west.
Agreed. Walk blessed.
Madame.
Walk blessed, madame.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
The light fades away at the end of the day. Ta-dum-dum. Work, work, work. Walk blessed, madame.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Now, a good pipe of peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it. Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Walk blessed.
Hey, wait a moment. You're the Neramis, aren't you? The Outlander. Well, let's put it this way. I have a pair of eyes here and there, and it's always good to know who comes into this city and when they do so. Help. You're an unfamiliar face, and this is just what I need. Let me make it short. I'm a businessman, and my specialties are the liquid pleasures. Beer, to call a child by its name. In Ark, most inns only pour 2 drinks. On the one hand, my beer. On the other hand, Rivervale Ale. Dalsarker honey wine is what they like to call that swill.
Some shifts never end.
Now, the thing is, the Riverville Brewery and I have a deal going. And unfortunately, the new vine dresser respects that deal as much as the Rolata respect the righteous path. Now this is why I want your help.
Oh shit.
I need someone to aid me in serving some retributive justice, so to speak. Now look at that. Aren't you curious? That's good. I like that. It's simple. 7 barrels of beer per tavern and per week from me. 7 barrels of wine from him. No tricks. Correct. That way, we maintain balance. Should an inn order more than these 7 barrels, either I or the vinery inform each other about it first. The fact is, that new vine dresser doesn't care about that deal at all. All he does is walk around saying things like how he'll grow the business, how rivalry adds spice, and other Kalian horse shit like that. And unfortunately, some people seem to fall for him. One innkeeper hasn't ordered from me for 3 weeks, and now pours only ale instead. A lot. Depending on how good you do, we can even talk about letting you in as a shareholder of my brewery. With small parts, of course. But as I said, that depends on how you do.
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Wonderful! Here, this is a flask of highly concentrated vinegar. Sneak into the basement of Fat Leorin's Inn. That's one of the inns that fools talked into only buying ale. And pour that into the big mead barrel. And, I probably don't need to say this, but still, not a word to anyone. Get back to me once it's all taken care of, and we'll talk coin.
Some shifts never end.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around and tell me if you see anything you like. Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look. Walk blessed.
Walk blessed, madame.
Madame?
Walk blessed. Walk blessed.
Potatoes are gone. Yeah, that should be it. Huh?
A visitor. Take your time, look around. Can't you tell? The floorboards can barely stand the pressure. Jokes aside, look around. We do not. In the old days, people cared more for the history of our country. But since this Red Madness thing, Arantheel's return, the number of visitors has sadly declined steadily. But that's just how it is. Well, aren't you direct? You're an outlander, aren't you? I can tell. But to answer your question, the Order funds this museum. They, quite rightfully, see it as a memorial to Endralian culture. Walk blessed, madame.
Just where did I put it? Move along. Hello. Is it important?
some shifts never end.
Teolor Rentheon has returned after all these years. Malphas truly smiles upon us.
Huh? Yes? Yes?
Hello. That's a good question. Let me think. I'm not sure if this helps, but an innkeeper told me lately that because of the Red Madness, very few prospectors are bold enough to go to the Shadow Steel mines in the Powder Desert anymore. If you have the smithing skills and want to find some precious ore, you should check one of the mines there. An adventurer, huh? I suppose that depends on how daring you are. An old fellow in the Red Ox Inn told me about some kind of well up in the Northwind that's supposed to talk. Pathless magic, they say. I've got no intentions to become fodder for the wolves, so I haven't checked yet. But you might be more lucky than me. May his light guide you.
Madame?
Ahoy!
Some shifts never end.
Ahoy.
Looking for passage, are you? Forget about it. With all them sodden wars everywhere, nobody's setting sail anymore.
Yes?
In al bed. Sorry.
Madame?
Walk west.
Yes?
some shifts never end.
We always go too easy on the scum.
Madame? Yes?
That's just how it is. Yes? What are you doing here? Pathless ones, all over the place. It's a shame. so many strange faces. Well, isn't it?
Evening.
An outlander? Isn't this nice?
Ahoy!
A man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. Clings to that girl like a cling to his plate.
Oi, you again. How are you holding up? Everything all right?
Aye, I can't complain.
Madame?
Did you hear the news? Word has it Captain Rossio landed here
Walk.
just a few moons ago.
Oh, real. Where'd she...
Madame? Madame?
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Looking for passage, are you? Forget about it. With all them sodden walls everywhere, nobody sets sail.
Madame?
Wait, you're a traveler, aren't you? Did you happen to see my husband, Hallis? Tall, brown hair, chin beard. He runs our farm near landlord Borek's place and has been gone for days.
Now where did I put that?
Some shit.
An outlander. Isn't this nice?
Madame.
Oh my. You just don't get any younger.
Walk blessed.
just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots. Huh? Can I help you? Too easy on the scum.
Sorry, I can't sing.
Hmm? Evening.
Is it important?
Some shifts never end.
Evening. War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world? War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world?
Walk blessed, my dame. How can Sylvan and friends serve you today? Would you like to open a personal vault? Or perhaps even acquire an estate? A ledger. Your very own safe in our house, which we will manage on your behalf. We will meticulously track all your deposits and withdrawals, and best of all,
Just have to live with
thanks to our very generous interest rates, the longer you entrust your money with us, the more it proliferates on its own. Well, evidently this was a metaphor. Just imagine that for every day your money rests in our vaults, we present you with some extra coin on top of it, as in appreciation for your trust, so to speak. Well, you see, this is a highly complicated process, and I fear it would be a matter of near impossibility to elucidate my response in such a fashion that you would be capable of comprehending it with your, I beg your pardon, most likely quite limited intellectual capabilities. Let us talk about more enjoyable matters instead, such as your money. Fine then. We use it to trade. We invest, for example, in promising expeditions or new trade routes. And from the returns those investments yield, we not only pay our employees, but your interest as well. Now, don't you look at me that way. We have to make a living somehow, too. Banks do not make mistakes. Didn't your parents teach you this? Now enough of this nonsense and back to business. Do you want to open a gold shelf or not? Very well. We will need a 100-penny deposit to start with. After that, you may make a withdrawal or deposit whenever you would like. Excellent. You will not regret this. Here, this is your personal safe key. This way, you may access your shelf even when we are closed. To make a deposit, simply talk to one of the bankers or put it on the shelf yourself. And should you acquire any shareholdings, simply give them to me and we will allocate them with your future interest. Well, holdings for something, a business, a caravan, things like that. But forgive me for saying so, you do not seem to be a woman of means, so I don't suppose it will be relevant to you. Of course. A wise decision. Walk blessed, my dame. How can... Of course. Walk blessed! And don't forget, your money is safe with Sylvan and friends. Exceedingly safe, believe me.
Good evening.
Greetings.
We always go too easy on the scum. Huh? Can I help you?
Yes?
Walk blessed, my dame. How can Sylvan and friends...
Yes?
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots.
Well, there comes a point when you just have to live with it.
Yeah. It's not as if I didn't tell them that Huh? Can I help you?
Good evening.
Huh?
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you?
Move along.
Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself, so I do. Balhazer, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Orizaline, but third generation Orizaline, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what did you say? Interested in some well-paid, honest work? It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred.
Yeah, that should be it.
Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close. It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words. However, I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated. Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman whom my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands. Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who've been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while. Isn't that obvious? Because I want to understand. You know, we Arzalines believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it. My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity. Reports, scrolls, samples of their work, anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map? Here, the fortress should be in this area. Best you take Myra to Fogville. In the village harbour, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there. Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there.
May your path always be even.
Evening. War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with...
May your path always be even.
Huh? What do you want?
Malfas's blessings. A little bit of this and that. Why not take a look? Come back anytime.
Sorry.
Yes, of course she'd say that.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Put that.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Potatoes, garlic. Yeah, that should be it.
Stew. Roast pork. Anyone?
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
That's just how it is. Everything was better in the old days. Yes, of course you'd say that.